Ghamidi Center of Islamic Learning News Bulletin, for November 2023. Javed Ahmedi's visit to Australia. Last month, Mr. Javed Ahmed Ghamidi and Mr. Hassan Ilyas visited Australia as part of an invitational tour to various countries. Their stay in Australia lasted for 10 days. Dr. Zulfikar, the founder of Al-Mawrid Australia, organized a 3-day workshop and a public event in Sydney. This workshop was a continuation of the series initiated by Hassan Ilyas in Australia last year, titled Progeny of Abraham, Throughout the Eras. People from all over Australia attended the workshop and benefited from the insightful lectures delivered by Mr. Javed Ahmed Ghamidi. Following their time in Sydney, Ghamidi and Hassan Ilyas attended an event in Brisbane, Australia, organized by Iram Nabi, Ethesham Nabi, and Zubair Ahmed Khan. This event drew a large number of participants. Additionally, Mr. Javed Ahmed Ghamidi made a brief visit to Gold Coast, Australia. Overall, Ghamidi's visit to Australia was a highly successful tour. Ghamidi's visit to Singapore. After their 10-day stay in Australia, Javed Ahmed Ghamidi and Hassan Ilyas proceeded to Singapore. Notably, the Ghamidi Center's educational mission in Singapore is operated by women. During their visit, Ghamidi participated in 2 scholarly and dawah meetings organized by Ghazal Kaleem and Wajiha Hassan. Syed Manzoor Al-Hassan, a research scholar of Al-Mawrid America and editor of the monthly Ishraq America, also joined these meetings from Malaysia. A special session was organized exclusively for women, allowing them to seek answers to various academic and religious questions from Ghamidi. Ghamidi's visit to Malaysia. Following their time in Singapore, Mr. Javed Ahmed Ghamidi and Mr. Hassan Ilyas arrived in Malaysia. Ghamidi was warmly welcomed by students of Islamic International University and individuals with religious backgrounds in a public convention. At the conclusion of the event, the audience requested Mr. Ghamidi to share useful advice. In response, Ghamidi advised them to become genuine seekers of knowledge, embrace truth, and communicate in a civilized manner. Weekly Quran and Hadith lectures. Under the auspices of the Ghamidi Center, a series of live lectures on the Quran and Hadith by Mr. Javed Ahmed Ghamidi has been initiated. In October, 8 sessions were held, focusing on verses 91 to 95 of Surah Nahl. The lectures covered important topics such as worshipping graves, allegory of the straight path, the Hur of paradise, and what is good and evil. These lectures on the Quran and Hadith are accessible on the Ghamidi Center's YouTube channel. Audio recording of the study of Sirah. The Ghamidi Center of Islamic Learning aims to provide the works of scholars from Dabastani Shibli and other schools of thought in audio format. This initiative allows individuals who are not familiar with the Urdu script to benefit from the intellectual and scholarly thoughts of these scholars. Dr. Khalid Zahir has initiated this project with the audio recording of Maulana Wahiduddin Khan's book, Study of Sirah. In October 2023, Khalid Zahir recorded 2 episodes of the book, available on the Ghamidi Center's YouTube channel. Response to criticism of Ghamidi's views. Recently, Mr. Ahmed Javed, a renowned figure in literature, Sufism, and philosophy, delivered lectures in which he criticized Ghamidi's perspective on the coherence of the Quran. He asserted that Ghamidi's stance on the coherence of the Quran has produced a novel interpretation of religion, challenging the reliability of the established traditional view. Ahmed Javed suggested that Ghamidi's view is influenced by Western ideologies. In response, Syed Manzoor Al-Hassan has provided a detailed reply to this criticism, addressing Ahmed Javed's objections and explaining Ghamidi's stance on the coherence of the Quran. This article can be found in the October 2023 issue of Ishraq America. Why God Tests Man? Muhammad Hassan Ilyas's article, Why God Tests Man, was published in the October issue of Ishraq, US. The article addresses various questions about the reasons behind God's act of testing mankind in light of the views of traditional and modern scholars. Hassan Ilyas criticized traditional perspectives on the issue, highlighting that unsatisfactory answers have led some to lose interest in religion and consider the universe as an alternative to God. Audiobook of Al-Bayan translation. The Ghamidi Center has organized the recitation of the Holy Quran over the course of a year under the Tazkirable Quran project. Shah Nawaz Zaidi recorded the translation of the Holy Quran by Javed Ahmed Ghamidi, while Mushari Rashid Al-Afasi recorded recitation is being used. The recitations are accompanied by text and translation displayed on the screen. Episodes of the recitation are regularly aired on the Ghamidi Center's YouTube channel, with the first episode having been well received by thousands of viewers. Interactive sessions on the topic, What is Hadith? The discussion on what is Hadith is ongoing in the video series in response to 23 objections. In October, 4 sessions were held, addressing issues related to the principles of understanding Hadith and the criteria for accepting or rejecting a report. The recordings of these sessions are available on the YouTube channel of GCIL. Hayat Amin, audiobook. Hayat Amin is a biography of Maulana Amin Ahsan Islahi, written by Naeem Ahmed Baloch, a research scholar at the Ghamidi Center of Islamic Learning. The Ghamidi Center has decided to present this biography in audio format. Mr. Khalid Syed, known for his charming voice, has been selected for this project. 3 episodes of this audio project have been recorded thus far. Questions and answers with Dr. Khalid Zahir. Dr. Khalid Zahir has launched a weekly Q&A program from Canada, organized by the Ghamidi Center of Islamic Learning. Hosted by Malik Faisal Islam, this program features questions from the public, presented to Dr. Khalid Zahir, who answers them in the light of the Quran and Hadith. Recordings of this program are available on GCIL's YouTube channel. What does the Holy Quran demand from us? Manzoor al-Hassan, a research scholar of the Ghamidi Center of Islamic Learning, continues his program titled Razi Hayat. One of the most significant episodes aired last month is What Does the Quran Want Us to Do? In this program, the scholar delves into the Quran's demands regarding both worldly and eternal life. The program is accessible on the Ghamidi Center's YouTube channel. How to Study Criticism? The conversation on how to study criticism by Mr. Hassan Ilyas has been presented in an animated form on the YouTube channel of the Ghamidi Center. In this presentation, he explains how those who read and listen to Ghamidi should approach his intellectual criticism and discuss the obstacles they may encounter while engaging with criticism. Teaching of Al-Bayan and Meezan in English. Dr. Shahzad Salim has initiated the teaching of Al-Bayan, Ghamidi's commentary on the Quran, and his book Meezan, in English. In October, 5 lectures on Al-Bayan were held, covering verses 122 to 162 of Surah Baqarah. Dr. Shahzad Salim also recorded 3 lectures under the Meezan series, titled The Economic Sharia. These lectures are available on the YouTube channel of the Ghamidi Center. Maulana Islahi's Educational and Professional Ambitions. The second episode of Hayat Amin was published in Ishraq in October 2023. This episode sheds light on Islahi's educational preferences in comparison to his grandfather's desire for him to become a clerk. The article also delves into the challenges faced by Shibli and his friends in establishing Madrasa al-Islah and other religious educational institutions. Moreover, Naeem Baloch describes the story of Shibli's ideological differences with the views of Sir Syed Ahmed Khan. Release of English version of Ishraq America. In October, the inaugural issue of the English version of Ishraq America was published. Mr. Abid Mahmood serves as the editor, and Muhammad Hassan Ilyas is the creative administrator. The editorial board also includes Mr. Ijaz al-Haq, Mr. Mahmoud Rashid, Mr. Malik Ilahi, and Mr. Muhammad Amar Malik. The English edition of Ishraq America has received high praise from its readers. Visit of Muhammad Yunus Kazemi to Ghamidi Center. Renowned Pakistani scholar Muhammad Yunus Kazemi paid a visit to the Ghamidi Center last month. His research focuses on introducing the scholarly and intellectual contributions of Dr. Fazlur Rahman. During his visit, he recorded several videos featuring significant discussions about Dr. Fazlur Rahman in the Ghamidi Center studio. These videos will soon be available on the Ghamidi Center's YouTube channel. Recording of lectures by Dr. Shahzad Salim. In October 2023, Dr. Shahzad Salim recorded 2 lectures on Islamic punishments and misconceptions about Islamic punishments. Additionally, he recorded 8 lectures as part of the Lessons of Life series with themes including Free Time Leads to Empty Minds, Melting Hearts, Introspection, Controlling Anger, Controlling Tongue, Are We Ready to Die? 2 Tough Trials, and Discovering Your Inner Talent. These lectures can be accessed on the YouTube channel of GCIL. Forced Education, A Blessing or a Curse? Dr. Irfan Shahzad, a research scholar at the Ghamidi Center, has authored an article titled Forced Education. In this article, he critiques Pakistan's education system, highlighting the drawbacks of compulsory education and its adverse effects on children's futures. The article underscores issues such as poor academic performance, depression, dissatisfaction with career choices, and the inability to handle real-life challenges. The article is available in both Urdu and English versions in Islamic US. Weekly question-answer sessions. The Ghamidi Center conducts a weekly live question-answer session in which questions and objections on various topics are addressed. In October, one of the sessions delved into the topic of Sayyidina Ali and Amir Muawiyah, Yazid, and the incident of Karbala. Recordings of these weekly Conda sessions can be found on the GCIL YouTube channel. Who am I? The question "Who am I?" has been explored in the Ghamidi Center's weekly program Conda Syed Manzoor Ke Sath. The program also tackled important questions such as the nature of man's reality, the timing of their birth, the relationship between the soul and body, the nature of the covenant, and similar inquiries. This weekly program airs every Friday at 9 p.m. PST. What is Sade Zaria, blocking the means? In 2018, Hassan Ilyas recorded a meeting with Javed Ahmed Ghamidi in Malaysia under the title What is Sade Zaria? In this informative discussion, the concept of Sade Zaria was elucidated, providing evidence from the Quran and Hadith to support its foundation. The conversation also delved into the prohibition of certain actions by jurists based on the principle of Sade Zaria and addressed other pertinent questions. Last month, this program was made available to the public on the Ghamidi Center's YouTube channel. Consultation on parenting, adolescence, and marital issues. To assist individuals in addressing social concerns, Shahzad Salim conducts private consultations every month. In these one-on-one sessions, people seek guidance from Shahzad Salim on various personal and family matters. In the past month, Dr. Shahzad Salim conducted 18 private sessions with individuals who sought advice on parenting, dealing with behavioral issues during adolescence, and improving their marital relationships. Issuance of fatwas based on religious teachings. Many individuals reach out to the Ghamidi Center of Islamic Learning seeking guidance on the practical applications of Sharia law. They often request definitive religious opinions, fatwas, on matters related to marriage, divorce, inheritance, and various social and economic concerns. In the last month, GCIL issued 5 fatwas on such issues under the guidance of Mr. Javed Ahmed Ghamidi, with Muhammad Hassan Ilyas overseeing the process. Ask Shahzad Salim. Question-answer session. Ask Shahzad Salim is a live monthly question-answer session in which Dr. Shahzad Salim addresses inquiries related to various religious, moral, and social issues. During this session, people can pose their questions in both Urdu and English languages. Recordings of these sessions are accessible on GCIL's YouTube channel. Poetic interpretation of Hadith for children. GCIL has introduced a new series that presents interpretations of prophetic Hadith in poetic form, aimed at educating children. Syed Manzoor Al-Hassan selects Hadith reports with a focus on making the content accessible to young minds. In the October edition of Ishraq, a narration from Musnad Ahmed was published under the title Rights of God Upon His Servants. The poem explores the rights and responsibilities of God's servants toward their Creator. Youth dialogue on marriage and relationships. Recognizing that youth hold the key to the future, the Ghamidi Center of Islamic Learning invites scholars and organizes youth dialogues to address their religious and intellectual questions. In this context, programs were recorded with Yusuf Ghani and hosted by Muhammad Bashir Ilyas, focusing on marriage and relationships. In October 2023, 2 programs on this subject were aired, and they are available for viewing on the GCIL's YouTube channel. Recording of weekly program for Dunya News. Ilmo Hekmat, Ghamidi Ke Sath, Knowledge and Wisdom, with Ghamidi, is a well-known program on Dunya News channel in Pakistan. Hosted by Muhammad Hassan Ilyas, the program has been running for many years. It is recorded in Dallas and airs weekly. In October 2023, 4 episodes of this program were recorded and broadcast by Dunya News. These episodes covered topics such as the principles of improvement of human psychology, the nature of government in the nation-state, and question-and-answer sessions aimed at enlightening the audience. Teaching the Quran, Hadith, and the Bible. Dr. Shahzad Salim has initiated a session called Islam Study Circle, in which he discusses various religious, moral, and social issues in the light of the Quran and Hadith. The session comprises 3 parts: the detailed explanation of selected Quranic verses, discussions on chosen hadiths, and deliberations on excerpts from the Bible. The program concludes with a brief question-answer session on the discussed topics. This session is conducted in the English language. In the previous month, the program addressed topics such as the rule of law, anger control, the greatest divine order, and mixed education.